Welcome back to a Timey-Wimey pod where each week we dive into the timey-wimey world of Doctor Who. I'm Rebecca.
I'm Haley.
And this week we are discussing the Series 6 finale, The Wedding of River Song. Haley, how are you?
I cannot believe we are here. How are we at the wedding of River Song? We are finishing up Series 6. There's a new companion right around the corner. I'm not
Uh,
ready. Ugh, I'm not ready. But I am ready to talk about this episode because I've been dying to talk about it. And for me and Rebecca, not for you guys, but for us, it's been, sorry, just tap the mic. It's been 2 weeks since we recorded.
oh yeah, it has been.
Yeah, so it's been a minute for us. But
Yeah.
how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here. In true timey-wimey pod fashion, this is the first episode we've recorded since all the Doctor Who news came out,
Yeah.
no Christmas special, out to tender, all that. We did record a little bit that we put in the God Complex, but
Hmm.
this is the first proper episode we've recorded since that. So it's been a few weeks. How are you feeling?
I am still sad and upset by the news, that mainly that we'll get no Christmas special, but also that it's out to Tinder. But I am feeling a little bit better because I feel like when we recorded that little bit and put it in the God Complex, it was so very fresh and we didn't really
It was
understand.
that day.
Yeah, and we didn't fully understand what going out to Tinder means. And I still am nervous about it. I'm not going to lie. I still think it's going to be a long time until we get anything. But I think having other people come along, Moffat himself saying, guys, the show isn't going anywhere, just calm down. That kind of helps reassure me that, okay, I think this will actually be a really good thing in the long run, hopefully, to keep the show going on instead of having it just be this thing where every couple of years, guys, it's up in the air on if the show will continue.
Yeah, I'm also feeling a lot better about it than I was when we recorded the thing for the God Complex. I think I have hope that it will come back. It will take some time,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think it will find the right people and it will come back at the right time. Um, Hopefully sooner than later. Who knows? Maybe by the end of the year we'll have like a showrunner announcement. You never know.
Impossible things happen all the time. I will say I will forever be bummed that we're not getting a Christmas special
Yeah.
personally, and I will say this and I'll leave it here. I won't continue to bring it up, but I personally think they should have just made the Christmas special and then put it out to Tinder to soothe
Yeah.
the masses, mainly to resolve all the plot lines. But
Yeah,
yeah.
who knows? On one hand, I do agree with you, and then on the other hand, I'm like, maybe not. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
true.
conflicted. But we are here to discuss the wedding of
Yes.
River Song. Are you ready for some fantastic facts?
Yes, I am.
Just warning everyone, these fantastic facts are boring. There is like nothing good for this episode, so just be prepared. So this aired October 1st, 2011. It was written by Stephen Moffat and directed by Jeremy Webb, who did The Curse of the Black Spot. And
Hmm.
those were his only two episodes, this and that.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Meredith Vieira, who's I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
recognized her, the Today Show. Yeah, we'll get into
Yeah.
that. So she recorded her scene while she was abroad covering William and Kate Middleton's wedding for the Today Show.
Stop it. What an iconic moment to film that clip. Oh my gosh. I don't know why
Mm-hmm.
that's making me so happy to learn.
I know. Like that's the dream right there.
Yeah.
Imagine being a TV journalist. You're abroad for the royal wedding of the century, people called it at the time, and then you get to be in a clip for Doctor Who. Jealous. My dream right there.
No, exactly. I still vividly remember watching them get married. And I
Mm-hmm.
am not necessarily pro monarchy or anything. It just was an iconic moment in time in pop culture.
It was 2011. It was the
Hmm.
time.
It was
Yeah.
the time.
Amy's confrontation with Madame Kavarian towards the end of this episode was a last minute addition to the script.
That's tea. I will keep my mouth
Mm-hmm.
shut on
Yeah,
feelings.
yeah. The Tesselector scenes in this episode were filmed during the filming of Let's Kill Hitler.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That makes
He
sense
said,
with
we're
like
not going to rebuild this set. Just shoot it now.
they're like the Tesselecta guys, you got limited time.
Yeah. Do you know you have 30 minutes? But yeah, sorry, nothing too exciting. I looked. There was not much for this one, which is so weird. I feel like that kind of happens. Like the big episodes don't have
Yeah.
as much stuff as you think they're gonna have.
And then like random episodes, like for example, closing time, there's a whole like plot it was gonna be.
Yes. The one for me that always gets me is Boomtown, because that episode was always almost something completely different, show changing,
Yeah.
life ruining.
No, exactly. Exactly.
And go listen to our Boomtown episode if you want to know those fantastic facts. Okay, Haley, it's the Wedding of River song. What are your general thoughts?
Such a good question. My thoughts on this episode. Okay. Every time I watch this episode, I always feel differently about it. But at the core, every time I watch it, I do like this episode and the concepts. And I think there's a lot of room and ways it could have been improved for sure. But honestly, even though it's really imperfect, it's peak for me. And I know that might
Mm.
be a little controversial to say, but it just is. And we'll get into the moments. And a lot of it truly is the dialogue. I read something earlier today where I think Moffat himself said it, where you can have a weaker premise, but if you have strong dialogue, it carries the episode. I feel like that is so true for this episode, but let me know what your thoughts are.
Look, it's a mess, okay? It's a mess. It's objectively, is it the messiest finale we've had up to this point? I think so. I think it's the messiest finale we've had up to this point. And yet, I like it. I love it. It's
Mm-hmm.
a fun time. There's lots of great moments. There is a lot of good dialogue. And I like that, it ties a bow on certain story arcs. Is it the best conclusion to the season we could have had? No, but you know what? It's one of those things with Doctor Who. If I saw this live in 2011, I probably would have been like, oh, worst finale ever. This sucks, blah, blah, blah. But watching it in hindsight, all these years later, you just kind of have to love it for what it is.
Perfectly put.
Mm-hmm. The way this episode starts takes me out every time.
Yes, it's a very interesting opening, you can say. It is April 22nd, 2011 at 5:02 p.m. in London. And it's not just the high rises and buildings in London. We also have a train running through the buildings. We have cars held up by hot air balloons, which is very interesting. There's pterodactyls in the sky. And yes, I know there's a sign that literally says pterodactyls are vermin, don't feed them. But the first time I watched this episode, I did think they were the creatures from Father's Day.
Oh, no, me too. Me too. And every time I do kind of still think that until we see the sign. And I'm like, oh. Okay.
No, me too. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one because I felt kind of dumb, but I'm glad I'm not alone. It there's a radio going. We're hearing things about there being sunspots and solar flare activity, and we see a bunch of random things. Like we see a Roman centurion and a chariot in modern day London. We see a poster that says War of the Roses enters the second year. And on the telly, on a street, we see a certain someone being interviewed about his Christmas special. And I always forget he's in this, and every time I see him, I get so excited.
Oh, I love it every time. What a random cameo. They really went all the way back to Crimson Horror Series 1, Episode 3.
Girl!
Insane.
It's the Unquiet Dead, not the Crimson
Why
Horror.
did I say Crimson Horror? What the heck? What's crazy is I was like, in my head, I had the Crimson Peak because I always think about that one movie. I always confuse the Crimson Horror with the Crimson
You
Peak, that
do.
one movie with Tom
Yeah.
Hiddleston. Why did I say Crimson Horror? What? I was wow. Okay, The Unquiet Dead. I don't even know, guys. That's wow. The Unquiet Dead. Pulling getting Charles Dickens all the way back for that. What a random cameo. I love it. Only in Doctor Who could you do something like that. And you know what? It's good to see him. It's nice. I like it.
I can almost guarantee, okay, and maybe I'm like really wrong for this, but I really feel like this was Mark Gatti's suggestion to Moffat.
Oh, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
I would not doubt it. This is the first finale we've had where it's only one episode. It's not a two-parter, it's not a
Yeah.
three-parter. How do you feel about that?
Hmm. I like that it's different. I like that something new was tried with the format of a finale. I do. There just is something though about a two-part finale that I just love that tradition. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not like mourning it here because honestly, like what would the story have been for a first part to this finale?
I agree. It's a good thing they didn't drag this story out. Keep it the one episode it is. But it does always throw me off that it's not a
Yeah.
two-parter because we've come to expect it 6 seasons in. We know the formula of the show and then you change it on us. Which is
Mhm.
fine. It's good. It just always throws me off a little bit. And with such a big high stakes issue like time falling apart and happening all at
Yeah.
once, you expect it to be like a multi-episode story and it's not.
You also expect there to be a lot more writing on it. Like you expect to see a lot more than what we see in the beginning of this episode?
Yeah, I wish we were a little bit more immersed in like what's going on here. We get
Yeah.
to see a lot of things, the trains, the flying cars, Charles Dickinson, sure, but let us really properly experience what this world is like with time happening all at once. Like I want to feel it more. I want to see it more.
Yeah, and it's a bit confusing. And at a certain point when I watch this episode, I just have to be like, I can't really think too deeply about it because everything that was chosen was kind of random. And I know some things were chosen to like try to connect to previous series, but like, why is Winston Churchill of all people the Holy Roman Emperor? And why is his doctor the Silurian doctor from the Silurian two-parter from series 5?
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not even the Silurian doctor from that episode. It's the Silurian like guy in charge.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah. It's, it's what makes the episode what it is. It's kind of
yeah,
messy, it's kind of crazy.
it
And
is.
Winston Churchill makes his grand return once again, but you know what? Sure. Sure.
All right. And we find out that there is a soothsayer. And, I really wonder who the soothsayer could be. I'm kidding. I'm being sarcastic. We all knew it was going to be 11. And he strolls in there with a beard, long hair, wearing, why do I want to say toga? Is that the right word?
That feels right.
Okay. He's wearing a toga. And this is where I also have to embrace it because Winston mentions that 11 has been saying over and over, like all of history is happening at once. But he's already thrown 11 in the tower before. So, like, how many April 22nds did it take until Winston started to finally, like, think about time being messed up and question things?
That is a good question. It is. I do wonder how long everything's been like this, but I also think there's no way of knowing that because everything's happening
Yeah.
at once. Later
Mm,
on we meet up with Amy. It's like, okay, how long has she been here? And the truth is, we'll just never know. There's no answer.
yeah, exactly.
But
Um,
love that we get the Jesus beard back.
we do, which correct me if I'm wrong. I think we talked about earlier in the season how we were going to talk about his beard, and then we never got to talking about his beard. when we
You
first
know
saw
what?
it.
I do have a vague memory of that.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the beard?
Honestly, it's not fully believable for me.
No, yeah, it's fun for the show, but it's not Matt Smith's best look of all time.
No, it's not. It's not.
No.
But I oddly enough like his long hair. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, see, I really don't like it later on in the episode when he's back in the tweed and then the long hair is slicked back.
Mm.
No, I don't.
See,
Not a fan.
very specific scene. I like it at the very end of this episode when he's on top of the pyramid, but that's the only moment
No,
I like it.
no, don't like. I don't like that his hair is long in that. It really bugs me.
It honestly bugged me for the longest time, and so this opinion is obviously subject to change. But like my preference is his glorious hair, the
Hmm.
classic 11th Doctor do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but anyways, back to Winston and talking to 11. 11 says something has happened to time. Oh, sorry. Winston is saying, something has happened to time. That's what you never stop saying. All of history is happening at once. But what does that mean? What happened?
A woman.
I love this line. I really don't care what anyone
I
thinks
know.
about it. I
It's
love it.
it's like a little like okay, but I do kind of love it.
And yeah, and the way he's so dramatic in saying that, and then it's immediately the intro sequence.
Hmm. And then we get the doctor telling Winston about like how all this happened. And I love this
Mm-hmm.
first scene we get from the Dalek's perspective. And we get the doctor's narration. And he's like, imagine being so far from home, blah, blah, blah. And then you look up and see the devil himself. And he says, hello there. Great, great moment. Imagine being that Dalek. You're freaking
Mm.
out. You're dying. Very fun.
Yeah, because that's literally their worst nightmare is seeing the doctor. They
Hmm.
would rather die, they would rather lose than see the doctor during their impending death. So that scene does go crazy. And I love how he's wearing the Stetson.
Yes, love the Stetson. And then he meets up with Gideon Vandeleur, who is, of course,
Mm-hmm.
the Tesselector, or the Tesselector's posing as him. What do you think of them? They're back. I love how he's like, the time traveling robot operated by miniature people. Never get bored of that. And it is fun. For all of its faults, it's fun.
It is fun. It's fun. Again, it's here to serve a purpose. We obviously learn at the end of this episode. I'm fine with them coming back. We talked about our problems with them back in Let's Kill Hitler. I don't really care to go
Yeah.
into it. It's not like my favorite. I don't think it's the strongest concept, but I also don't think it's like the worst thing ever and that it doesn't make sense. I think it makes sense in this episode.
Yeah, I agree. It's we'll get into the ending of it all later. Um
Yeah. Did you notice that when he's waiting for the guy who's the Tesselecta, he's reading a magazine that's knitting for girls? And that just
of
makes me wonder,
course.
Doctor, what have you knitted?
Oh my gosh, show us.
Or is it knit?
Realistically, the doctor could never, I think it's knit. I don't think the doctor has the patience to knit. They're not
No.
sitting down, going through that yarn, doing all that work. Absolutely. No way.
No way at all.
And then hey, it's the live chess scene from the reality war.
The infamous chess scene from the reality war.
Oh, and hey, it's Marketees. Oh, yes, Haley, this man that he's playing live chess with is none other than Marketees.
What?
Yup.
Did I forget this or have I really gone this whole
I don't
lifetime
know.
not knowing it was him?
I did think you knew this, but I guess you didn't.
This version of me didn't know that.
in this reality.
This reality. That is not surprising whatsoever. But yeah, they're playing a deadly chess match, and 11 ends up conceding the game because Gantok said he would take Eleven to Dorium to find out more about the silence and why they wanted to kill 11 if he would concede the chess game. So he concedes the chess game, and they go to what is known as the seventh transept, which is where all the headless monks keep the leftovers. And this is so creepy because I
Hmm.
remember watching this for the first time, and this scene did actually make me low-key want to hide behind the couch.
It is a little spooky. All the skulls moving on its
Yeah.
own. They feel very alive. I love the explanation for this. The guy said, Marketis says, the monks, they behead you alive, remember? As if all beheadings don't happen when
Mm,
you're alive.
no, that's actually a great point.
Like, yeah, okay. But okay.
Yeah, I find it interesting how, because Eleven's asking, like, why are some heads in boxes,
Hmm.
including Dorium's? And Gantok is like, well, depends on if you're rich. You're either left to rot or you're rich, basically. And Dorium was always very rich. So he's in a nice little box.
Now, I don't know what this says about me, but when I was 13, I thought Dorian was living the dream.
What?
Just in a box, alone with Wi Fi. He's got everything he needs, media chip in his brain. He's good. I don't stand by that thought, but back in the day, I was like, he's got it all.
That is a 13-year-old version of you thought, and that tracks.
What can I say?
11 opens the box, says hello to Dorium. They're chit chatting a little bit. And then behind him, Gantok prepares to shoot 11 because he's like, I'm going to save everyone the trouble. Also, like, what was it? What did he say
No
about the
idea.
chess match? Something about the chess match.
Oh,
Like,
he's like, no one beats me in chess or
oh
something
yeah,
like
no one
that.
beats me in chess. But then he slips and falls into a pit of skulls. And what are your thoughts on the CGI in this moment?
Oh, it doesn't really bother me. I'll be
Really?
honest. Yeah.
See how you feel about River in the river. River in the river? River in
River
the
in the
water.
river.
At the end of last week's episode is how I feel about this. Like
And
it
that's
just,
so fair.
yeah, it just, it isn't the greatest, but it's okay. It's very freaky.
Yeah.
Um, Rip
The skull
Gantok.
turning and looking back at the doctor always freaks me
Ooh,
out.
no, me too. I love the back and forth though between him and Dorium. They always have like such a funny like back and forth and dynamic.
Hmm.
And we kind of flash back to, or flash forward to, whatever it is. We flash to Winston and 11 again. And
Yes.
he's asking 11, what's this woman like?
And then we get one of my least favorite lines ever, which is,
Really?
yes, hell in high heels. It's just so man writing about a woman. I can't. It's like, okay,
That's fair.
we get it. We get it. We get it.
That's fair. It do be true, though, about her.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's not a bad description, but I can't. It's just too much. It's like,
Yeah. I do kind of like that line, though. Exposing my toxic side.
fair enough. We're all allowed or things. I love when he's talking to Dorium and he's like, "Why do they want me dead?" And he's like, "Nah, they just don't want you alive."
And he's like, dude, that's literally the same thing.
He's like, "Oh,
Literally
fair
the
enough
same
then."
thing.
And this is where we get our first, I think, or first Trenzalore mention.
It is our first Chancellor mention, and Dorian sprinkles some tea. Finally, we're learning new information. Because before this, he was just repeating stuff we already knew about the silence, I think. But
Mm.
he
Yeah,
says,
silence will fall. Blah blah blah.
yeah, on the field of Trinsalor, at the fall of the 11th, when no living creature could speak falsely or fail to answer, a question will be asked. A question that must never, ever be answered. And the silence are determined that the question won't be answered and that the doctor will never make it to Trinsalor. And 11 really wants to know what the question is. And Torium
Mm,
taunts him and is like, so do you really, really want to know what the question is? And 11 is like, yes. And Dorium's like, it's going to be on your own head or whatever. And 11's like, dude, just tell me the question. But then the next thing we see is 11 storming in his TARDIS with Dorium and like plopping
yes.
him on the seat in the TARDIS upside down because he's really annoyed.
Yeah. Oh, and Dorian starts saying, now that you know what the question is, you know that
Mm-hmm.
you have to die. You see that, don't you? Which is very like when we don't know what it is yet. It's like, oh, what? It's very intriguing. I love a good
Yeah.
how what do you call all this? Like I love all this like teasing stuff right there. It's
Yeah.
very, she is returning. There's something on your back, that kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
ooh, we're teasing new
Okay.
things. This is fun.
No, so fun.
Oh, I love when they're in the TARDIS and he says, "But why Lake Silencio? Why Utah?"
Utah. The way he says that always makes me laugh because it really is why Utah of all
Why
places.
Utah? If I found out I was gonna have to die in Utah, I'd be pissed.
No, me too. No shade to anyone in Utah.
Right.
Beautiful state. Like I've been there. Like there's beautiful parts of the state, but like guys, I don't want to die there. I'm just going to
No.
be honest. Like if I could choose, let me die in Switzerland, okay? I'm not dying over here in the
Mm.
United States.
I'll go to Paris. Let me die in
Yeah.
Paris.
Yeah, no, Paris, actually, that's what I would choose is Paris. Okay, this
Yeah.
is getting morbid. But I also love how Dorium is like, what's the point in delaying? How long have you actually delayed? And it's so funny because Dorium knows 11 has just been procrastinating, and 11 just goes, oh, I've been here and there knocking about a little bit of a farewell tour.
hmm yeah, he says he could invent a color, save the dodo, join the Beatles, and he starts calling someone. We don't know who he's calling, but he says,
Mm-hmm.
it's on me, get him, everything's on me except the money and the driving, which is very funny, makes me laugh every time. And then he says, Liz the First is still waiting to elope with him. We get another
Mm-hmm.
tease in the Elizabeth the First mystery.
Yes. And then he says, I could go help Rose Tyler with her homework. And guys, the devastation at that statement and the devastation and humiliation I have over myself forgetting about that last week is really embarrassing. Like, how did I forget
Two
this?
two Rose Tyler references in a season she's not even in. Love
Mm-hmm.
to see it.
Love to see it. Oh my gosh. We beg for 11 Rose.
The people yearn for 11 Rose.
Yes, if you have any good 11 Rose fanfics, please send them our way. Like, email us at timeywimePod@gmails.com because we will read them.
Mm, yes. Yeah, the concept of him knowing he's going to die and going to go help Rose Tyler with her homework. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. He also mentions that he could go to all of Jack's stag parties in one night, which I'm like, how many times canonically did Jack get married? Do we want to know?
Oh, no. And I don't think you could go to all of them in one night. I don't think your body could physically handle that. I think he would regenerate if he tried to do that.
No, exactly.
And then Dorian says, well, time's catching up, something about time. And the doctor says, well, it has never laid a glove on me. And then he learns, we get this really sad moment. He learns Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart has passed. Right after he says this, he learns one of his oldest friends has passed. And this scene is so sad to me, but also such a great tribute to Nicholas Courtney, who is such a big part of the
Mm-hmm.
show and Classic Who for years and years. I mean, the man's legacy is living on to this
Yeah.
day. To me, it is the great tragedy of New Who that we didn't get Nicholas Courtney in an episode. Absolutely tragic, but this is such a nice tribute to him. And I love that the doctor learning about his death is what makes him be like, okay, it's time. I can't keep running. Like he's faced with mortality. Very sad scene, but a great tribute to the man.
I completely agree. This scene really always catches my attention because it is such a lovely tribute to the Brigadier and fully feel the same exact way. It is truly like a generational fumble that we did not get him in New Who at all. And I feel like we're unfortunately experiencing this again with Susan Loki, which we're
Yeah.
not going to get into, but I just felt like I had to also bring that up. But I love that there's this moment in this episode dedicated to him because he really is such a big part of the show. But it's just this moment where things become clear for 11 and he decides to go to Lake Silencio, but before he does, he makes sure that he mails out the envelopes, except he's doing it via the Tesselecta, which is very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like you could mail something without messing with your own timeline, but who am I?
Yeah,
I'm no time travel expert. I think it's very sweet how he explains to Winston that if he had to die, he didn't want to die alone. And if it's time to go, remember what you're leaving. And he says, my friends have always been the best of me, which is one of my favorite
yeah,
lines. I kind of forgot it was like in this moment, actually. And I think it's really sweet. Like in Impossible Astronaut, everyone is like, why would he invite us to his death? Who would do that? That's an insane thing to
yeah.
do. But it's kind of sweet to see it from his perspective. Like, he just didn't want to die alone. He wanted his friends there.
He did. And him just really emphasizing his friends have always been the best of him is so, so sweet. Insane, though, to do that to them with no warning.
Yeah.
Like, it is kind of diabolical, but I mean, it makes sense for the character of the Doctor. And then we're back to Lake Silencio, and River is in the suit. She's also on the picnic blanket. So there's two Rivers here. And we are all preparing, the Doctor's preparing to be shot by River.
Mm-hmm.
And she is very emotional. She doesn't want to do it. She's not in control, but the astronaut suit is forcing her.
I love that he says, she's like, why would you do this? Why would you make me watch this? And he says, it's so you know that you are forgiven, always and completely forgiven. I think that is so sweet, such a romantic moment between them for him to show her, I forgive you. Like, he's not upset with her. It's not her fault, anything like that. I just love how he says she's always and completely forgiven. Such a great line. And I love how emotional she is here. Like, she doesn't want to do it. And how horrifying is it that this suit is making her do all this? It's in control. It's terrible.
It's such a beautiful moment where he really wants to make sure she understands that she's forgiven, that all of this was inevitable. He understands, he forgives her. He doesn't hold it against her because look, there's another version of her right back over there with Amy and Rory. And then he closes his eyes, prepared to die, and we hear her gun going off, except it doesn't hit him at all. And this leads us into one of my favorite scenes because it's so funny,
Yes.
because he's so upset that she didn't actually kill him. He opens his eyes and he's like, what the heck? Like, what happened? Like, what's going on here? And she's like, hello, sweetie. Fixed points in time can be rewritten. And the way she says it is so comedic.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what are you talking about? No, they can't. They can't be rewritten.
Who
And they
told you
get into
that?
like, yeah, he gets into like a whole squabble with her. It is so great. But then nothing happened and everything happened all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love how he's like, no, it can't. Who told you that? And as he's saying that,
Hmm.
time starts changing.
Yeah, it's really great. And then we're back with Winston and 11. 11 has a sword, Winston has a gun, and the tally marks on their arms keep growing. And then they look up.
Oh, we get another all the silence on the ceiling upside down moment. And you know what? It creeps me out again. I get the
Same.
same shivers I felt in Day of the
Mm-hmm.
Moon. Love to see it. I do like the aspect of them, running for their lives while he's explaining this, and they keep
Yes.
forgetting, obviously. And they're like, "You have a gun. My pulse is raising." I think that's fun. The
Me
silence
too.
of it all. And then who makes her grand return to our screens? They finally Pond, Amelia
Amelia
Pond.
Pond. Yeah.
She's back. She has an eye patch.
Yeah. She has a whole crew of people armed, facing the silence. They all have eye patches on, and she shoots 11, but with a stun gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love when they're on the train and he's like, "You have to remember, like, you can't remember. You grew up with the rift in your wall." Meanwhile, there's all these drawings everywhere. There's the paper mache TARDIS, classic, and of
Which
course
he's
she would.
holding.
Yes, of course she would remember. She's Amy Pond.
Yeah.
She's not forgetting this, and I love that.
I love that so much. And I love how she just stands there until he clocks all the drawings and everything. I find it so interesting how she remembers Rory but doesn't remember what he looks like.
Okay, does that drawing look like anyone to you? Because something about the
No,
drawing, I'm like, I feel that like that looks like someone. Like it looks like a celebrity or like a C-list
really.
celebrity.
I always feel like I should know who it is in the drawing, but like I've never known who it actually is.
Mm, fair enough.
It's just really funny. What are your thoughts on this?
I love it. It's so Amy and Rory, and the fact that he's like literally right in front of her and she can't see it. It's like a callback to last season with the Big Bang and the
Mm,
Centurions. I love to see it. I love how he's like, "Amy, you just have to keep looking," and she's like, "I am," and he's like, "Yeah, but you don't look hard enough." It's very fun. I love to see it. I think Amy Pond and Ruby Sunday should meet because they would have a lot to talk about.
they need a support group with just them. They need to go out, hang out for the day. I really think they would be able to help each other process so much trauma.
Yeah, just being able to remember all these alternate timelines. They need each other.
They do need each other. Also, I wrote this in my notes because 11 mentions that reality is disintegrating each day it continues. This is the real reality war.
You're not wrong.
No. Darn it. Now I really, sorry, going back to what we were talking about a second ago. Now I really want Amy and Ruby to meet.
That would be so fun.
It would be so fun. And it would be like, obviously, Ruby is so different from Amy, but it would be kind of serendipitous because she's younger.
It would have
Oh,
been like Amy talking to her younger self in a way.
yes.
And they were both like low key kind of orphans, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Time was rewritten for both of them.
Yes.
There's cracks in time for both of them. I mean, different scenarios. One with goblins, one we have yet to see who is behind the real crack. Um,
Oh. I was like, what? I
keep
forgot we were
living.
talking about current time. I thought you were still talking
Sorry,
about like
my
Ruby Sunday
bad.
time. And I'm like, what?
No, no, no. I was talking about Amy.
Gotcha. Yeah. So true.
Oh, then they're headed to Area 52, which is
Hmm.
in Cairo, which is inside of a pyramid, and there's an American flag on the outside of the pyramid.
Sure. Love it.
Yeah.
Not the last time we will have a Doctor Who episode in or centered around a pyramid.
Nope.
I love when he's like he's talking to Rory, trying to set Amy and Rory up, and he's like, oh yeah, she talked about you. She said you were Mr. Hotness and that you should go out for texting and scones. And Worry is like, you've never done this before, have you? Very fun.
No, it's so funny. I love how he's like trying to nudge them to each other the whole episode. It's the whole back and forth and bit is really funny. And we see that there are silence in the tanks. And the reason that everyone is wearing eye patches is so that they can remember what the silence looked like and so they won't forget. And that's how they're able to, secure them, trap them. And I say trap them in air quotes.
Yeah, I like the explanation for the eye patches. That's always a fun, not
Mm-hmm.
reveal because it's not like a mystery, but it's like, oh, okay, that's what they were for.
Yeah, and I mean, it in turn explains why Madame Quavarian has worn an eye patch this whole time.
Exactly. Yeah. And of course, we get reunited with River Song. We get the classic, Honey, I'm home. What kind of time do you call this?
Mm-hmm.
Love to see it.
And then Madame Quavarian, we just see her. She's sitting down, she's restrained, and she's just like, it's the death of time, the end of us all. Why couldn't you just die? And I love how 11 says, did my best, dear. I showed up.
You just can't get good psychopaths these days.
So good. So
I love
good.
it.
We also get a President Kennedy mention. River hit him up with her hallucinogenic lipstick, and that tracks with her.
Oh, it absolutely tracks. I also love their back and forth over Cleopatra. We know the Doctor's long-term friends with Cleopatra, but I love the back and forth over Cleopatra. That's very fun.
I love them flirting, and I love even more that Kavarian is just sitting there being like, do we have to watch them be flirty?
No, I love that too. And we learn that they can't touch, otherwise, time will start moving and they will be back at that lake and she will be killing
Mm-hmm.
him.
Yes. And River says it best in this scene to Kavarian because she's really upset that River and the Doctor have hearts floating around them. And River tells her, take a child, raise her into a perfect psychopath, introduce her to the Doctor. Who else was I gonna fall in love with?
Of course.
Of course. I mean, she's a child of the TARDIS. You're telling her that she's supposed to kill this man. Of course, she's gonna fall in love with this man. She's River Song.
Of course. And, oh, there's that great line in The Girl Who Waited where it's like they're talking about Amy and talking about how contradictory she is of herself. And you know what? River got it from her. So it's perfect.
So perfect.
I love how the Doctor's like, time is falling apart. We have to fix this. There isn't another way. And she says, I didn't say there was one, sweetie. Like, she knows at this point there isn't another way, but she doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to kill him.
She doesn't want to kill her man.
I love when she says that she's been reading up on them, reading all the theories about
Yeah.
herself and the Doctor, and she says, I'm either the woman that murders you or I'm either the woman that marries you or murders you. And he says, well, I don't want to marry you, and she says, well, I'm not gonna kill you. So they're at an impasse.
They are. But it's the way that both are true. Both are true.
Yes, love it.
Yeah. And then there's the reveal. We find out the Silents have actually never been trapped. They set the trap. They were waiting for this
Of
moment for
course.
the Doctor to show up, of course. And they have, like, Kavarian and all of them reverse engineered all of the eye patches to kill anyone who's wearing them. Except it's working against her too. And we'll get into that more in a moment. I just need to take a moment and pause and ask you, what are your thoughts on Amy's look in this episode?
Oh, I need to see, like, hang on. I'm gonna pull it up actually. Okay, I pulled up her look in this episode just to refresh my memory. And I do like it. It's just kind of like an old black, suit moment. I think her hair looks great. Love the hair in this episode. Girl pulls off an eye patch. Yeah.
That's what I was going to bring up mainly is her hair. Her hair is
Yes.
incredible in this episode. Look, I think I mentioned at the beginning of this season of series 6 that her hair most of the season was giving American Girl doll
Mm,
with like the clip. I love this hair in this episode. It's so beautiful, so gorgeous. Love her makeup. And you're right, she looks great with an eye patch, actually.
yeah. Yeah. No, the hair is doing a lot. I miss her series 5 hair. There was just
Me
something about it.
too.
There was a youthful bounce. I don't know.
Specifically, like the 11th hour hair.
Mm, yeah, or even the Vincent and the Doctor hair.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, Rory, the man he is, the eye patches are going haywire, and he stays behind with the eye patch going off, mind you. But he can't take it
Yeah,
off. So he remembers who the Silents are. So he remembers the enemy he's facing. So he can continue to protect Amy and everyone else. And that's a man right there.
that's a man right there. He's literally standing there. Like you can see, like based on his fist, like he is struggling.
Yeah.
And then when the Silents break in, they taunt him. They're like, Rory Williams, the man who dies over and over again. Guess what? She's not coming back for you. But she does. She comes back for her man.
This line from the Silence goes crazy. It's like, whoa, like wow, like
No,
I
I
don't know how to
know.
explain it. The man who dies and dies again, die one last
Mhm.
time, and no, she will never come back for you. But of course, it's Amy and Rory. They break all the rules. They pull time apart for each other.
Mhm.
She comes in with a machine gun.
She comes in, guns a blazing, to save her man. She gets to him, gets the eye patch off of him, and runs off with him. And they all, they follow where Eleven and River are going, which is the top of the pyramid. But before they go, you just hear a very meek Amy, help me from Madame Kavarian, which first off, excuse me, woman. You aren't
Mm-hmm.
you did not just say that to
No.
Amy Pond of all people.
I love Karen's performance in this scene. It is
Mm-hmm.
everything we have been waiting for. It is everything we've been begging
Yes.
for. Let us see the trauma. Let us see her have any kind of reaction or feelings about all the things that she's gone through. Let us see the pain and emotions and I don't know, the impact of Demon's Run, Let's Kill Hitler, all of it. And we
Mm-hmm.
finally get it in this moment. And I love when she says, you took my baby and you hurt her. Now she's all grown up. She's fine, but I'll never see my baby again. And that just really summarizes, I think, the most
Yeah.
heartbreaking part of, this whole Melody Pond River Song story is like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
Amy and Rory, they did get to kind of grow up with their daughter in their own way, but their baby was taken and they will
Mm-hmm.
never see that baby again.
Exactly. It's always so hard for me to like think about that because just on like a human level, like I can't. That is so painful to think about. And it's so sad that they'll never get those years and that time back with River, even though they have, this version of her. And Amy finally having a moment to really get this all out is incredible. And I will always stand 10 toes down on the scene. I will always defend Amy in the scene because I would have done the exact same thing if a woman took my baby and asked for my help with this stupid freaking eye patch. Oh no, girl, you're suffering.
I love how Madame Kavarian's like, you're gonna help me, because of the
Mm-hmm.
doctor, blah, blah, blah. And Amy's like, yeah, the doctor is really important to me. But you know what? He also is not here,
Not
bitch.
here.
Love it. Love it. And then she says, River Song didn't get it all from you, sweetie.
Oh,
Yes.
that part is so good. Gets me every time. I eat it up. I love that last line.
And you know what? I'm glad she killed her. I'll say it. I
Yes,
don't care.
I don't care either. Like, you abduct a pregnant woman, sorry, like, you abduct a pregnant woman, you kidnap her child and raise her child into this psychopath and like traumatize her child to the point where she like doesn't even remember parts of her life. Yeah. Come on. And then you're
Hmm.
begging for help, girl. Be no, no, no.
No.
No, no, no. No. And they walk away as they should. And Amy tells Rory, she's just like, want to go out for a drink sometime? And he's like, sure. And she's like, well, I'm married. And he's like, okay.
Well, she says we should get a drink sometime, and he's like, yeah. And then she says, and married, and he's like, oh, fine.
Oh, the way I've always misheard this scene.
That's we don't have time to unpack all that. I can't believe you've been mishearing that moment this whole time. You thought
That
she
makes
said
so much
I'm
more sense.
married?
Yeah, so I was just kind of confused in this scene. I'm like, we know they're married to each. Okay, moving on. Let's get to the top of the pyramid.
Okay, so we're on the top of the pyramid, and we find out River has been sending a distress signal to the whole universe saying the
Mm-hmm.
doctor is dying. Please, please help.
Yes, we find out that the reports of sunspots and solar flares were wrong because there aren't any. It's not the sun. It's you, she tells Eleven. The sky is full of a million voices saying, yes, of course, we'll help you. You've touched so many lives, saved so many people. Did you think when your time came, you'd really have to do more than just ask?
I I love this moment. I love that even though we don't really get to see it, I love that the whole universe
Yes.
comes for the doctor in this moment after all he's done. Of course, all River had to do was ask, and they all showed up. And I think that's beautiful.
It's so beautiful. And of course, they came, but came because River loves the doctor. He is the man she loves. So, of course, she is going to do something like this. And it's such a testament of their love for one another. And we've talked before, the doctor does not always show well how much he loves and cares about the people in his life throughout his incarnations that are there. But like, you can just see like he's in disbelief that she would go to these lengths, and it's so beautiful. And I love how she also says, you've decided the universe is better without you, but the universe doesn't agree. I can't let you die. And then he starts going on, and she's like, shut up, dude. She's like, I can't let you die without knowing you are loved by so many and so much, but by no one more than me.
And I love Alex Kingston's performance here. I think it's so good. And
Yes.
something else I always think about is compared to all the River songs we've seen so far, this is definitely one of the younger versions of River Song in the timeline. This is pre
Yeah.
Angels, pre Impossible Astronaut, obviously. So
Pre
this is one of
Byzantium.
pre Byzantium. So this is one of the younger versions we see, and I think Alex Kingston plays that really well here. I think you can see that in their dynamic, and I love it. I think it's so beautiful. This is the woman that was trained to kill the doctor, and we talked about how in Let's Kill Hitler she overcame that feeling. She chose to do something different. And here it's not just that she's choosing to do something different. She is refusing to kill him,
Mm-hmm.
refusing to do the thing that she was born and bred and trained to do. And I just think that's beautiful. Time be damned.
It is so beautiful. And Amy and Rory make it up there to witness all of this going on. Rory's just confused, and Amy just tells him, we got married and had a kid, and that's her.
Yeah.
And that line is always really funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
But Eleven has this moment where he gets really like flustered and annoyed at the same time at River. He's like, River, why do you have to uh, fine? And that's when he's like, I need something. And then he's like, wait, no, this bow tie will do. And they're getting married, y'all.
And they're getting married with the bow tie. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite little details. I think it's so cute.
It's so cute. Now, I feel like I'm going to be canceled for saying this question to you. Just know I don't mean it the way it sounds, okay?
Yeah.
But did the doctor really have to marry River Song in this scenario?
Yeah, I guess he didn't, if you think about it, but he chose to.
He chose to. He chose to, and I'm not complaining.
And for anyone who says this wedding doesn't count for reasons, it counts to me.
It counts to me. It counts because they remember it.
And it's the wedding
Because
of
it
River
did
Song, so
happen.
it counts.
Exactly. Of course, River Song's wedding is going to be timey-wimey and in an aborted timeline. Of course it will.
And with a robot, but we'll get into that.
Technically, though, the real one was there. The real love one
Yeah,
was there inside.
very
So it
true.
was really him, technically.
Yeah. Before we move on too much, I just want to say how much I love the line where she's like, I will suffer if you die. And he's like, more than the whole
Mm-hmm.
universe. And she's like, yes. Like,
Yes.
it's her showing how much she loves him. I love it so
Yeah.
much. Um,
So much.
yeah. And so back to the wedding, he tells her he's going to whisper something in her ear. And then he does. And
Mm-hmm.
he says that he told her his name. Then they kiss. We get their wedding kiss, and time
Yeah.
goes back to normal. We see
It
the lake.
rewinds.
We winds, winds, winds. I remember that night. I just might rewind. Um, and everything goes back to normal. And then we see Amy in her garden drinking some wine, and we meet up with Crash of the Byzantium River.
Crazy that it's this river that pops up.
You know what I thought about for the first time watching this?
What?
Just thinking about how post Crash of the Byzantium, River goes, to have a glass of wine with her mom, see her parents, and just think about what Amy did after Crash of the Byzantium.
Okay. So let's move on.
It
We're
was like, interesting to think about.
okay. So River mentioned she's like, you were like so young.
Mm,
It's like kind of crazy. You didn't know who I was, of course. And Amy is really upset in this moment that she killed Kovarian, which is interesting. And it kind of goes back to Amy's contradictory nature, where I think
yeah,
there is a part of
totally.
her that's glad she did it. But also, like, there's another part of her where she's like, that was crazy. Like, I did that. Like, that's serious. What does that make me? And so I just find that really interesting. It's a very human thought process.
And
What are
even
your
though
thoughts?
I agree, I do like that. And River's like, yeah, in another timeline that no longer happened. And
Mm-hmm.
Amy's like, well, I remember it, so it did happen. And I do like that. Like, she did do that. She did make a decision, and she does have to kind of live with that and think about who she is because of that.
Absolutely. And Amy mentioned she's also really sad the doctor's gone because she can't talk to him. And River's like, would
Hmm.
talking to him really make a difference? And Amy's like, it doesn't matter. He's gone. He's dead. And River says the great line, oh mother, of course he isn't.
She reminds Amy of rule number one: the doctor lies, and she says that
Mm-hmm.
she also has to lie all the time, pretending she didn't know who Amy was, pretending she didn't recognize the astronaut suit in Florida. It's like we've been saying, she's always doing 10 levels of acting, always playing 3D
Yes.
chess.
Yes. 3D. So insane to think about, like, how much she has to pretend every time she sees a younger version of Amy that doesn't know her, and just like the pain.
Hmm.
I can't. But I love how Rory comes home and he just sees River and Amy jumping together in the garden. And when he goes out there, he asks River if she's sure. And River says, yes, I'm his wife. And then Amy then follows that up by, which makes me his mother-in-law, and you just see her face drop and her like she goes pale, and River tells Rory, she's like, Dad, I think mom needs another drink.
Yeah, what a great moment. And I love it all. The timey-wimey family, if there ever was one.
She's really thinking back now to what she did after the crash of the
Yeah,
Byzantium.
she's really like, oh, oof,
That
that
can
was
never get
bad.
out.
We're leaving that story, not telling that one.
And guess what, guys? 11 was the Tesselecta. The 11 in the aborted timeline, the 11 on Lake Silencio who was shot dead. He was actually a Tesselecta. The real 11 is alive and well, and he is returning Dorian.
Oh, what a twist. In hindsight, he really didn't have to make all that fuss in the pyramid, all
No,
the yelling, the drama of it all. He really didn't have to do all that.
he really didn't. He just felt like it.
No, it's just for fun, just for vibes. It is kind of funny to think back to the Impossible Astronaut. That line, oh, Canton, he says, "That is the doctor. That's definitely the doctor, and he's definitely dead." It's just so funny when shows do that. They're like, nope, this is it. This is they're dead,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, okay, well, no, just kidding. No, they're not. Of course, it was just the robot the whole time, but you know,
Yeah.
fun stuff.
Yeah. Very, very fun stuff. 11
Mm-hmm.
does tell Dorian that he does want everyone and like everyone else besides like the pawns, he wants everyone to think he's dead because he got so big. He wants to kind of lower his profile, kind of go under the radar. And so that's why he kept the Tesselecta thing such a secret, which makes sense, especially after like a good man goes to war. We kind of see the consequences of when the doctor is like really big and a legend. And I mean, he's been stalked by the Silence and Madame Kovarian all season long. So I understand why he wants some peace. He wants to go and lay low.
Yeah, I think he really listened to what River said to him at the end of that episode. You know, you got so big. Did you ever think you'd become this? And
Mm-hmm.
this is him kind of trying to rectify that. He realizes he did get too busy, he did get too noisy, and it's time to step back into the shadows. Does he do that? We'll see. We'll talk about it.
We will most certainly talk about it. But this is also why River still serves her prison sentence, even though we all know the truth. Because it's TikTok goes the clock. He gave her all he could give her. TikTok goes the clock. Now prison waits for River.
They were like, bring back the
Yeah.
nursery rhyme. We got to run it back one more time.
One more time.
I love how he's like, Dorian's like, so River will spend her days in prison, and he's like, her days, yes, her nights. Well, that's between her and I. Love it. I just love
Love
the
it.
idea that he comes to her prison cell every night and whisk her away for all sorts of adventures.
I love that concept. And I mean, we get to see some of them in mini-sodes, which is really
Yes.
fun. And of course, we know about like the whole Stevie Wonder escapade that she is coming back from in A Good Man Goes to War. And so we'll definitely, I don't know when, we don't know when, but we'll definitely talk about those moments in the future on our podcast. Don't you guys worry.
Yes, I want to do an episode. I think just one mega episode where we talk about a bunch of different
Mm,
mini-sodes. But let us know what you guys want to see. If we should just do like small bonus episodes or one big
yeah.
episode on a bunch of different mini-sodes. But I don't know. We'll see. Okay, Haley, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who.
Ooh. Uh, okay. That hit so like that went so hard when I was first
Mm.
watching this at 13. Loved it, lived it, gagged. Now it's, it's a little it's not as triumphant as the question, I will say.
I'm with you there. I still love it. I'd still a gag, but
Yeah.
I think just knowing that I don't want to say it doesn't go anywhere because it definitely does. It definitely goes
Yeah.
somewhere. And there's a lot that happens because of this. But we'll get to it. We'll get to all of it in the months to come, with
Mm-hmm.
7B and Time of the Doctor and all of it. But knowing where the story arc goes, it makes it a little less exciting, but still such a gag. Still love this moment. And I love the mystery around the Doctor's name. I've said this before. I think
Yes.
it's such an interesting concept. I love that Moffat played with the mystery, played with the concept without giving us an answer, because we don't want the answer. I don't want to know the Doctor's name, but I love playing with the
Yeah.
mystery of what the Doctor's
Oh
name is.
yeah.
I think that's really fun.
Oh, me too. And I love the closing shot of this episode where it's Matt Smith standing outside the TARDIS and it's just zooming into his profile. Oh, that eats. It's
Mm-hmm.
so good. It's so good.
Yes. Just him looking into the camera. I love it. I think it's
Hmm.
such a good last shot.
Me too.
Who is the star of the show?
Oh my gosh.
I
Who
know.
is
I
the star of the show?
You know what? It's Charles Dickens,
Yes.
the actor who played him, whose name I'm forgetting, for coming back all these years later. And you know
Yeah.
what? Iconic.
Iconic. The episode of Nine and Roast is so iconic. And
Oh,
yeah. So shout out to you, Charles Dickens. Fully agree. What is the heart of this story, Rebecca?
what is the heart of the story? Love conquers all. It's so cheesy, I hate
Yeah.
to say it, but it is kind of true. It is, it's a wedding episode, it's a romantic episode in
Yes.
many ways. Amy and Rory, they find their way back to each other. And the Doctor and River get married. They defy time. Time is rewritten. That also another moment in that scene by the lake. I love when she's like, "Time could be rewritten," and he says, "Don't you dare!" A callback to Silence in the Library. So good.
I love every time they call back to that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Do we have any reviews from the past?
Oh, we definitely do.
Oh,
All
I'm
right.
so ready.
This first review is from the Doctor Who subreddit from the original discussion thread of the Wedding River of
Oh
River Song.
no.
So this is very fresh, and it is by the user time space anomaly. And they said, I don't know how I feel yet. I'm not feeling the instant, oh my gosh, that was amazing, I got with the Pandorica Opens Big Bang. I liked that a lot of the little throwaways, like the sweet tribute to the brig, the joke lines about Jack's stag parties and Rory dying, and I like that Moffat wants to get the Doctor traveling under the radar again. Though I do have to wonder how long that could last. Like, kill a Dalek or a Cyberman, and then everyone will know he's alive, right? But I can't wait to see 11 with new companions. Not that I dislike Amy and Rory, but variety is nice too. I liked seeing time all scrambled up. I think it's sad that Rover did so much to prove to the Doctor that he was loved, something 11 never realizes in his crippling depression, and yet nothing seemed to come of it. It seemed like it jumped from all of these messages to wedding, and I was confused. Maybe I need a second viewing there. I thought it felt a little rushed, especially since so much of the beginning felt like watching Impossible Astronaut again. And then Tesselecta. While it makes sense, it seemed a little silly. I might just have to go rewatch this season.
I think there's a lot of really fair criticisms in there.
Yeah.
Especially, I like what they said about the lack of the Doctor's reaction to a Rory, to River, like pouring her heart out, showing him how much he's loved. I would have liked, I don't know what you write there, but something there,
Hmm.
some kind of response. I do think it is such a great moment to have the whole universe there to show that they showed up for the Doctor. Do a little
Yeah.
something more of that.
I agree. I really think that all of the criticisms are very valid. And in reading the subreddit, honestly, it was like very much a mix of like just reactions to the episode, a lot of similar sentiment. Some people really, really loved it. Other people just kind of like had questions. And so I was actually pleasantly surprised because I feel like this episode, it kind of really depends. It really depends on where
Mm-hmm.
you're looking for reviews and stuff. Criticism of this episode is valid. We mentioned we love it because It's peak, even though it's imperfect.
I don't know if it's peak, but
Okay, not
I
peak,
do.
sorry. I can't think of another adjective. I don't mean
Camp?
peak. I just can't think. Camp. Thank you. Camp.
It's camp. Yeah, it's no Pandorica opens Big Bang.
No.
Far from it. I do think it's maybe Moffat's weakest finale.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that.
But it's still a good time. It's still fun.
It is so fun. I was about to be like, Series 7 confuses me because what is the finale? I mean, I know the finale, but
it's
like,
name of, it's name of the dog. Here's my thing. Let me just say this, and if you're ever like, why do you never talk about the specials in your wrap ups? I feel very strongly that the specials, Christmas specials, anniversary specials, what have you, are separate from the seasons themselves. Sure,
yes.
okay, you can tack them onto DVD, fine, whatever, but they are separate. The Doctor, the Widow, the Wardrobe is not part of this series six arc that we've been following for the last several weeks. It's its own little separate
Yeah.
thing. And I feel that way about every Christmas special. Very passionate about that. With maybe an exception to the Christmas Invasion, because I think that's like essential viewing from series 1 to 2. It's kind of like a bridge between the two seasons, but or like it's really the real premiere of series, the real first episode of series 2, if you think about it. And now I'm just talking about the Christmas Invasion, but
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. Christmas Invasion is the non official low key first episode of Series 2, just
it
because
really
of
is.
the scenario. Um, I'm going to stop myself from talking about specials so that way we will not be here the entire who knows how long.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this next review is from IMDb by the user Mahai Cosmin 2007, and this was written on October 5th, 2011. And this review and others like it are what I meant a couple weeks ago when I brought up that the reviews like this are going to be more and more consistent because this
Mhm.
is when the tide started turning against Moffat. And totally valid to have criticisms against the episode. It's just some of the reviews and some of the content online at this point going into the next few series, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Mm. This is when Moffat got dragged off Twitter.
Yeah, okay. So surprisingly, they rate it 6 out of 10. So pretty decent rating. But
Yeah.
this review says, since the infamous phrase of the 11th Doctor's Geronimo at the end of the 4th season, this show has been in a contentious fall, and I really wonder how much more it can go down.
That is so ridiculous to say it's been just falling since that. Because if you don't recognize Series 5 as peak, I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly. They continue saying, I also don't understand how this episode could get an 8.9 score because it was just terrible. I'm assuming they meant like that was the original score of the episode on
Mm.
IMDb. They continue saying, it was absolutely terrible, but it seems like a lot of people have some fanatic faith in Doctor Who. Let's just talk about the most obvious hole in the plot. It is so obvious, I wonder why only a few actually talk about it. So, for the first part of this episode, we are told what happens if the Doctor does not die at Lake Silencio. The history all becomes messed up, time stops following, the universe is simply going to die. Later on, Moffat decides to completely trash that and replace the Doctor with the robot Doctor. I really, really wonder why nobody said anything about this. This is probably the worst writing I've ever seen in my entire life. Not even Steven Seagal movies are that bad. Basically, the writers simply offend the viewers by throwing them some bad story and claim it is complicated and all that stuff when it is not. The writing was bad, and they simply got away with it because of the professionalism of the video effects and sound teams, which did a great job. That 6 is for them. That's the end of the review.
And I think in a way that's fair criticism. I meant to bring this up it is kind of a bit of a cop out to be like, oh,
It is, yeah.
the doctor died, so time was okay, except no, it was the robot. Yeah, it's not the best, you know. Like I said, it's the weakest finale for a reason. I do
Yeah.
think it is hard to, you know, they wanted to start off the series with a bang, kill the doctor. It's hard to
Yeah.
resolve that in a way. But maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's a lesson that you shouldn't set something big like that up. But you know, what are you gonna do?
Agreed. The part in this review I do really disagree with, though, is that this is the worst writing ever, because it most definitely is not.
Oh
It's not
yeah,
the
no,
worst writing in the show.
no, not at all.
But those are the reviews. You know, there's lots of reviews about this episode. And surprisingly, I just checked. It has an 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb, and I
Oh,
am actually really surprised.
I feel like it's one of those things where the years have softened on it. Like, yes, it's
Mm,
not the greatest finale. It's not the best episode. It's not even that good of a conclusion to series 6, but worse things have come and gone since then. We're able to look back in
exactly.
hindsight with a little softer, kinder eyes on this episode.
Definitely. So, in conclusion, guys, at any point in this episode where I said it was peak, I meant camp. The word camp was not in my mind at all. I definitely prefer Pandora Opens Big Bang. I do
Oh
agree
yeah,
with what you said earlier, that this is probably Moffat's weakest finale. A lot of the love I have for this episode, even though I have many criticisms for it, really does have to do with Matt Smith and Alex Kingston. They just
absolutely.
both bring such a fabulous dynamic, and I think without them being the forefront of this episode, I wouldn't feel the same way. So, series 6 as a whole, we will dive into all of our feelings on that next week in our wrap-up episode.
Yes, definitely listen to our wrap up episode. If you haven't before, they are our favorite episodes to record. We will be ranking the series, our favorite episodes to our least favorite, talking
Mm-hmm.
about our favorite moments, outfits, and just our general thoughts on series 6. There's a lot to unpack here, so you're gonna
So
want to
much to
listen.
unpack. And also, just giving you guys a little heads up, we will talk much more about this next week, but we will be taking a little bit of a summer break, having a little summer vacay vibe. For us, don't worry, we will not be gone that long, so don't panic or anything. We will talk about when we will return next week in our wrap up. But thank you guys so much for listening to this episode.
Yes, and feel free to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Timey Wimey Pod. We've been popping off on TikTok.
We
Stephen Moffat's niece is in our TikTok comments, so we've really made it.
We've made it. We can cease to exist now. I'm kidding. That was an incredible moment. Yeah, we hit like 400K views on one TikTok, which is mind boggling.
Crazy. So go follow us there. It's fun.
Yeah.
Lots of fun comments from people. We really
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it, and check out our Instagram too. We always let you know when episodes are going up or if they're going to be a little late, and you get all the
Yes.
same videos that we post on TikTok there as well.
And please feel free to email us anything and everything to our email. And please start sending us any and all thoughts you have on Series 7,
Mhm.
because we will unpack those. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're gonna be in Series 7. But please, like, email us, DM us your thoughts about Series 7 to timeywimePod@gmail.com.
And we will see you guys next week for our Series 6 wrap up.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.